What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today I wanted to have a discussion about weapon camos as well as operator skins in Modern Warfare, and the debate between having things that are completely grounded in reality, things you'd actually see on the battlefield, versus the more unrealistic, super colorful sort of camos and skins that we're used to in recent history with Call of Duty. Now, this is a debate that's kind of been going on in the background for many months, basically since we found out that this game was going to be called Modern Warfare. There's always been this debate, and the thing that tipped me over the edge to make a video about this was a post on Reddit yesterday, which of course I will leave linked down below. And with this post, we saw this image here, which was apparently captured by somebody that was able to modify the code to unlock this. This was in the beta files on PC, but it wasn't available to be unlocked. However, somebody found out how to unlock that, and it looks like this is one of the camos we're going to be seeing in Modern Warfare, likely either at launch or shortly after launch. Now, this image definitely has some people upset because they really wanted that more realistic, gritty feel with Modern Warfare, and they just wanted to see things that would realistically be seen in the battlefield. Now, one point I want to make first off is apparently some soldiers do get a little bit crazy with the customization of their guns, like they will paint it certain colors. I kind of doubt you would be seeing something like this though, where it's super bright pink. That one stands out just a little bit too much. So that one I do have a hard time believing is gritty and realistic. But at the same time, there are definitely operators out there that will make adjustments to their guns, and they will look, let's just call them, very unique. As for my personal stance on this, I am looking forward to a more grounded in reality Call of Duty game, because a lot of the recent ones that we've seen, with the exception of COD World War II, have just been like completely out there. Very unrealistic, crazy like animated camos and such, which I don't mind if it fits with the theme of the game, but this time the theme of the game is Modern Warfare. At the same time though, this is an arcade style shooter, so I am okay with them pushing the limits on this a little bit. Like this pink camo for instance that we saw, while I personally probably won't be using it very much because it just doesn't appeal to me, I'm totally fine with this style of camo. And I'm actually looking forward to having some relatively bright camos so that I can personalize the guns exactly how I want them to be, and if I really want to stand out and be really flashy, I can do that. It's my choice. When it comes to weapon camos especially, that's the thing that's going to be on my screen. That's the personality I can add within my gameplay experience that I'm going to be looking at a lot. It's a first-person shooter. That's what you personally see quite a bit. Whereas when you see other people carrying guns that have bright camos, you don't see it quite as much, and I don't think it's really that big of a deal personally. So for a lot of the people that are against that, you're free to use whichever camo you want to use and whichever one you want to be looking at most of the time. So if you want something that's more grounded in reality, then stick to those camos for yourself. And as long as you aren't picking other people's guns up, it should be hardly noticeable that somebody has a flashy camo. You might see little flashes of it here and there on their character models as you're killing them or as they're running by or whatever. But to me at least, I really don't care if somebody else wants to run a bright pink weapon. Having said this, like I said, I wouldn't want them to push this too far. I am hoping we don't see any sort of glowing or animated style camos. I'm fine with the relatively bright, flashy colors because, realistically speaking, somebody could spray paint their gun a bright color if they wanted to. And while you wouldn't necessarily see that on the battlefield, like I said, it's an arcade-style shooter, so I'm okay with the idea of some of these operators getting a little bit crazy with their customization. And to me, at least, it really doesn't break my immersion with the experience if somebody decided to spray paint their weapon a bright color. Glowing or animated camos, on the other hand, that to me would be a little bit too far because that's not something that an operator could realistically do to their weapon. As for operator skins, I personally would like them to be a little bit more strict in this area. Because this is the type of thing that is to show off to other people. It's not really for yourself because you can only see your arms anyways, and therefore this has a much bigger effect on other people's gameplay experience and what they're seeing. Of course, I'm still of the mindset this is an arcade-style shooter, so I don't expect operator skins to be 100% things that you would see in the battlefield and that's it. So I'm totally fine with seeing some tactical gear that's maybe a little bit flashier, a little bit brighter, some shiny objects and stuff on it, things that you wouldn't necessarily see in the battlefield. But when it comes to things like clown costumes, no thank you. I don't want that in Modern Warfare at all. I would like everything to be at least grounded in the tactical feel, the tactical style. It's cool to have personalization and to be able to make your characters look really cool and push the limits a little bit when it comes to that. But yeah, like I said, I don't want to see any sort of clown costumes or anything even close to that. Now, having said all of this, I do think it would be kind of neat to have a content filter. So if you wanted that super gritty, realistic style military shooter, it would be cool to have this option to just disable all cosmetic items. And therefore, everybody else is still free to run their cosmetic items and everything, but from your perspective, all you see are default skins. Even when you pick an enemy weapon up, if it had a bright pink camo on it, it would look like the default camo to you. And I think a lot of people would like an option like that. However, I don't think that's something we can realistically expect within Call of Duty. And the reason for this is quite simple. They make a ton of money on post-launch microtransactions. And many of these post-launch microtransactions are going to be operator skins, or weapon camos, or weapon charms. And giving people the ability to completely turn that off so they never actually see those, that would basically be equivalent to having an ad blocker. And they definitely wouldn't want that within their own game. They want you to see things that other people have and think, oh, that's really cool. I want to get that for myself. How do I get that? Do I have to go and buy some supply drops and maybe get lucky? Or maybe if I keep grinding the game, I can unlock that and I'm going to really put the time in. And this really benefits the developers because they want that player retention. They want you guys sticking around for a long period of time and grinding the game as much as possible. So as cool as it sounds to have an option like that for the people that really don't want to see anything that you wouldn't see in a Battlefield situation, unfortunately, I just don't think that's ever going to be an option. However, there is still one more place where perhaps they could have this super gritty, realistic feel without all of the crazy customization, and this is the realism modes. Because in Modern Warfare, we have hardcore, realism, and core, and there isn't really too much differentiating hardcore from realism. Like, yes, realism, it will take the same number of shots to the body, but it's still a one-shot headshot, whereas hardcore presumably will be a 1 to maybe 2-shot kill, depending on the gun and the range and everything like that. But both of them are going to be without mini-maps. Realism will have no HUD at all. And therefore, this is an area where they could differentiate those even more. Maybe in realism mode, they could force it so everybody has default customization. And that would really help keep that immersion up, because I really feel most of the people that are playing the realism mode, those are the same types of people that really, really want that super immersive military feel to their game. So maybe that's something they could pull off. Maybe they could limit customization in realism mode while keeping it the same in core and hardcore modes. And then maybe that would appease those people that really don't want to see things that aren't grounded in the reality of actual battlefields. But in either case, it does look like they're definitely going to be pushing the limits when it comes to customization in Modern Warfare, and I'm sure it will probably start off being not too crazy by any means, but if you guys have been playing Call of Duty for the past many years, you'll know that as time goes on, things will get crazier and crazier, and who knows what it will become by the end of the year. And with that, I'm interested in hearing from you guys. What is your opinion on this whole discussion between super realistic, grounded in reality sort of cosmetics versus pushing the limit a little bit, or just going completely out there when it comes to customization? Where do you draw the line as to where you would like to see these cosmetics? And what do you guys think, for instance, about that one camo that we saw, the pink striped camo? Are you okay with a camo like this, or is that already pushing the limits too far for you? Additionally, how would you feel about limiting the customization options just within the realism mode so that that mode stays true to the realistic aspects of Modern Warfare? Do you think that would be a good idea to help separate that even more from the hardcore game modes, or do you think the customization should be visible in any mode that you're playing? Just let me know those thoughts in the comment section down below. Now, since we're over that 9-minute mark, I'm just going to play some gameplay to reach that magic 10-minute mark for YouTube's algorithm. Feel free to leave the video now if you guys would like, or if you want, stick through, watch the gameplay. In either case, if you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.
We're crushing them, stay with it. Hostiles overhead. Friendly UAV overhead. We're taking Echo. Textbook, well done.
Yeah.